I think that this is a good example for one of these add or delete questions where our instincts could go either way. Some people are going to just look at this and say, yeah, we should add this. This is some interesting information. Other people are going to say, no, who cares about this? The point is already made. And that's okay. We can have different opinions. Different writers are going to make different choices. That's normal. So if we have different opinions, how do we get to one conclusive answer? That seems contradictory, right? Well, it's because these becauses on the SAT are supposed to provide reasons. They're supposed to be valid reasons for what we're doing. So we can have our own personal preference, but we need to make sure that we have a good reason in the SAT's terms. Okay, so let's just look at choice A. I think it'll be really clear what I mean. Should the writer add this information? Yes, because it provides examples of the Harvey Girls' influence. Is this an example of the Harvey Girls' influence as being a transformative force in the American West? Yeah, books, documentaries, even a musical, that's influential, right? They're creating culture. So that's a good reason. I don't have any problem with that reasoning. And so for that reason, that seems like a valid choice. I can't really poke holes in that. Now, I may have a personal preference against including it, but this is a good reason to include it. Let's look at the others. Let's compare. B, yes, we should add it because it serves as a transitional point in the paragraph. Well, living independently and demonstrating intense work ethic, they're transformative. And then advancing the roles of women in the restaurant industry and American workforce as a whole, the Harvey Girls raise the standards. Well, they're also being transformative. They blaze the trail, fast changing, right? These also are talking about transformative effects. But what's the transition then? If we're just continuing the same idea, that's not really a transition. So this isn't really a good reason to add it. There is no transition. It's just, continuing it. And on top of that, listing these things doesn't itself create a transition. It's continuing the idea that's there. It's not necessary for us to lead into the next thing. This next sentence could be there with or without this added part. It really doesn't require it in order for us to understand the point. So that's a bad because, a bad reason. Let's see. Now, we could delete it if there's a good reason to delete it. It should be placed earlier in the passage. No, why? We're talking about being transformative here. There's no reason to add it anywhere earlier, and the rest of the passage is not just about the Harvey Girls. So where would we put it, right? Unless you can say definitively, no, this is a dumb place to put it, it must go somewhere else, you can't pick this. This is a bad reason. Same kind of thing with D. It contradicts the main claim of the passage. This is a very, bad thing because the whole paragraph, the whole passage is kind of talking about the Harvey houses and the Harvey girls and this kind of railroad culture of this time period. So it's not contradicting the main claim. It's just listing a bunch of ways that these people were important. That's if anything, supporting the claim. So those are all bad reasons. So no matter what my personal reason was, if it's not listed here, I can't use that, right? And so I have to go with the reasons that they give me. And that's just a reminder that, you are not writing the best possible passage for these questions, right? You are editing a passage that has already been written by someone else. And sometimes you make decisions based upon what must be true, based on grammar rules, vocabulary, things that, you can't write it another way. But other times, especially with ideas questions, we are kind of given an instruction, what maybe the original author would have wanted. And so we're supposed to follow that instruction and help that author, write the best possible version of their essay. So that's kind of how we have to approach this. These are their reasons, and we're just evaluating whether they're, good, even if we have our own opinion. That's editing. Yeah.